All right. Our next speaker is also a Hey Girl You Can member, Paulina Stevenson, and she's a certified trauma-informed spiritual life and wellness coach. She really helps people with journal therapy, breath work practitioner. These are her expertise. And this is interesting. She specializes in religious trauma recovery and spiritual authenticity for women. So I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thank you, Tara. I wanted to first salute all the ladies that have gone before me. You ladies are just amazing. And I've got 10 minutes to run through my 6 points. I'm here to talk about the fact that we want to gain clients, but we don't want to gain any clients. We want to gain the ideal client, and we want to build our business in a sustainable way that values our time and that honors our own personal values. And we're gone are the days of, we can just hire anybody and anybody can hire us. It's more complicated than that. And one of the first things that we want to keep in mind is what's called visibility consistency. And what that means basically is that you just want to show up where your ideal clients show up on a regular basis. If you're in a group, you be in that group. Wherever they're showing up, you need to be there and be predictable, because clients like the fact that you're predictable, and that builds trust. And that goes before anything else. One of the ways to do that, actually, there's several ways to build visibility consistency. Post 3 times a week, for example, with a predictable cadence. For example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Use a weekly repeating anchor, something like a lot of people have done this over the years, where you do a Freebie Friday, or you do a Wisdom Wednesday. You might want to host a weekly live Q&A so that people get used to seeing your face. And every time you go online, you want to at least reach out to 2 of your ideal clients, whether it's through DM or however, and you want to leave mindful comments with them, because a mindful comment goes a lot further than a 30-second post or anything that you can put up that looks generic. If you reach out to them, they'd like to see that. The second thing is emotional safety. Clients don't hire coaches unless they feel safe. They don't want to spend money for your copy. The copy sounds great, but what they want to spend money on is the fact that they trust you. So when you post once a month, you want to go on and you want to be honest. You want to be transparent. You want to say, this is who I am. These are the things that I do. I coach in such a fashion. And here's what I don't do. I don't pull any punches with you. You want to avoid salesy language, anything that's urgency driven. People don't want to respond to that as much as they want to respond to the fact that they're seen. We used to post years and years ago when I first started coaching and say, well, if you grab this offer by tonight, people don't want to hear that anymore. What they want is they want to be validated. So when you post and you talk to them, that's the first thing you want to do is validate. I hear what you're saying. Let me clarify. I think I hear you saying this. It's just like a coaching. And then you invite them. You lead them to the water. You give your call to action and let them know exactly how you're going to be accessible to them. And that way, they understand exactly who you are and what you stand for. And the minute they feel safe, they're going to sign. The third one is value density. I love this one because I'm popular for posting what I call truth bombs or myth busters, unpopular truths. Here's the signs of XYZ. Here's a factoid. Here's a trivia point. Something that's provocative, because they want a high frequency set of words or a sentence that will change their worldview. They don't want to read high quality content. We are so bombarded with information. What they want is 3 or 4 sentences that are going to change their life. And if you can understand what they're looking for, which I will get to by the end of this dissertation, you're going to be able to sign clients right away. They want those high frequency words. They want to hear we're going to jump right on it and say, this is not so. And I'm going to tell you why it's not so. Here's a little known fact. And those are the things that they go for. The next thing would be energetic boundaries. One of the things about energy is that if you have boundaries and you have a positive energy, that's a magnet for your ideal client. And the boundaries actually create space. There's like a flow of energy that comes in when you have boundaries. And the way that you want to set those boundaries is you monitor your own self-care, care for yourself, do your own breath work, do your own meditations, do your own just sitting and resting, monitor your own energy shifts. Make sure that you clear your own connection by taking one day out of the week and not dealing with clients at all. so that you have your boundaries intact. Your energy is stable. Select clients that you could, that once you got the clients that you want to work with, select the ones that most resonate with you. I know everybody here that's ever coached and had a client has had a client that they really just didn't want to work with or could not work with because the energy wasn't right. But if you set that energetic boundary up front, that's the biggest strategy that you can ever have because it invites a healthy client into your business relationship. And the fifth thing is a client energy ecosystem that you design. They hear information, that's a discovery piece, but they want more. They want depth. They want to hear process. They want to hear the stories. They want to hear the ins and outs of the stories. So you go discovery, you go depth, you go and then decide, which means you lead them to a decision. You give them a call to action. Let them know why you're accessible, how you're accessible. Help them make a decision. You don't push them into one, but you give them all the information that they need to make one. And how that happens is you post 3 times a week, according to that particular strategy. Discover, depth, decision. Discover, depth, decision. And every time you post, you're going to be able to talk to people in more and more depth. And then you're going to be able to attract the people that you need as long as you get that call to action in there. How am I doing on time? Am I good? Okay, my last one
Yep.
is identity based messages. People do not hire coaches who harp on their past. They want a coach who can speak to who they are becoming. People are becoming a lot more savvy, and they're going to gravitate toward that coach who says, "You know what? Um, you're not lazy. You're not broken. You just need a hand to hold." That's the kind of talk they want to hear. Don't harp on their pain points. Don't lead with their pain points. Post on evolution and speak it in your language and explain it. So, for example, if the person feels that they're growing, you can say, well, a self-led woman will always make her own decision. And they'll go, wow, that's the kind of person I want to be. So you're acknowledging their current power and you're giving them a format, you're giving them a language to identify that person that they want to be. And they're going to come to you and ask for your opinion because they're saying, you know where I need to be. And you're the coach that said what I needed to do. And I trust you. So I know I went a little bit fast, but the first thing I'm offering is I'm gonna send out my email. I'm gonna have a cheat sheet with all this in great detail. And for anyone who wants to reach out to me, I'm going to have a 1 hour session with you so that if you want to put together a content map for 3 months, I will help you put that together. And I will only have that I will actually do the map for 50% off of what I normally would charge. And believe it or not, it's going to be dirt cheap because you guys are here and you showed up today and you took time out of your day. So you're looking at maybe an investment of the most at $22 to have a 3 month content map written for you.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Pauline. I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording.